Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, which was sent to me by one of our dear sister, and this is the translation of that message that she sent to me. The translation reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a woman who got married. This was last year. And after I had gotten married last year, then there was a little bit of a problem because whenever me and my husband will set a date for our wedding, not that there was no money. Money was there, but my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, they always complained, and they would tell us that we should wait just a little bit. And me and my husband, we were like hot for each other because we had promised each other that we were not supposed to sleep with each other, and we would only start to sleep with each other after our wedding because we wanted it to be very special. So since I got married last year, then last month, that was when we had our wedding. But the things that I have seen, Brother Nashi, I don't think that I'll be able to stay married to this man that I got married to. So my husband, he comes from a family where they have a lot of money, and his father is a ritualist. Yes, my brother, this man is a ritualist. So this is what happened. I met my husband at work. So I started working at this other mine. So I am the accountant at that mine, and I am working for my father-in-law. So when I started working for his father, he then proposed love to me, and I just thought that maybe he was one of the workers, but because he does not like people to know that he is the son to this man who is very wealthy. So the time that he told me that he was in love with me, I also fell in love with him. Then we started dating. So when we started dating, we dated for almost 6 months. That was when he started to do everything like really quick. And he just wanted to get married to me because after 6 months, he said that, I have already studied you and I can see that you are a wife material. So the next month, that was when I got married to him, and he came to my parents, and I introduced him to my parents. And when he came to pay for my bride price, Brother Nashi, it was as if it was a wedding, because it was really big. We invited a lot of people. It was a big function. Even the decor that we had, it was as if this was a wedding. Even the food that the people ate, we even baked a big cake, a wedding cake, because I got married into this family that is really wealthy. The amount that they paid for my bride price, it was just too much. They paid $18,000 for me in cash. Then my father said that, according to our Shona culture, as a son-in-law, you are not supposed to pay the full bride price. So my father, from the 18,000, he then took 10 US and returned that 10 US to my husband's relatives so that they can always be owing him. He said that this is what we do according to our Shona culture. So after that, that was when me and my husband started planning, and we said that we wanted to get married. But then my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, they were always blocking me and my husband. They would complain about the venue. They would complain about the wedding rings that we had bought. We bought 5 sets of wedding rings, and we kept on returning them back to the jewelry because they said that they were not nice. And mind you, each and every time when we were buying the wedding rings, we would fly from Zim and coming to South Africa. Then we would buy them and fly back to Zim. Then they would tell us that they don't like the style. We flew this other woman who has a deco company. She is there in South Africa, but she is from Zim. She came and she helped out this other woman whom we had hired. Then I had my wedding. It was like really great. There were not a lot of people there. It was just a private occasion, but you could tell that everything that was there, it was just expensive. They said that they were going to give us one of their properties, which is here in Harare. And we were so excited because my husband-to-be, he had once taken me to that property, and I just asked him why there was no one who was staying there, and the house, it was fully furnished by the time that we moved in there. Then after the wedding, me and my husband, we had planned that we wanted to go to the Caribbean for our honeymoon, but my father-in-law then refused, and he said that no, he was not going to allow us to go on a honeymoon because we were supposed to spend our honeymoon here in Zim. Fine. Then we went to that property that my father-in-law had given to us as a present. So the moment that we got there, like, I was really excited. I had waited for this occasion because I had made a mistake in my life. I don't want to lie. I had once met a boy whom I thought was going to be my husband. Then I slept with that guy. He was the one who broke my virginity. So when I met my current husband, I told him that he should not expect to find me as a virgin, and he said he understood. So I was waiting for him, and I was trying to keep myself for him. So when we arrived, when we were all left alone after the driver had gone, that was when my husband came and we started kissing each other. So when I started stripping him, he then said, "Oh, I have a stomach ache. I have ate too much cake. So please just allow me to rush to the bathroom." He then went to the toilet. I waited and I waited for my husband until I fell fast asleep, and he was still in the toilet when I woke up. The moment that I woke up, I looked at my phone and I saw that my husband had spent almost 2 hours whilst he was in the bathroom. When I called out his name, Brother Nashi, it was like a door that opened up that led these creatures from the other dimensions, because all of a sudden they were there in our bedroom. So these creatures that I saw, there were 2 creatures that walked into that bedroom. They were like your skeletons, and they did not have any flesh on them. They were like skeletons. And the more that they moved closer and closer to me, I saw that they had their bony manhood, which did not have any flesh on it at all. But when they moved close to the bed where I was sleeping, and I was under sleep paralysis, I could not move any limb of my body. I watched these 2 skeletons as they started masturbating their bony manhoods, and from there on I saw that there was tissue. And from there on, I saw that there was flesh that was now growing on their manhood. It was really painful because I tried to scream out so that my husband can hear me as these 2 skeletons kept on masturbating. They even ejaculated their semen on my body because I was naked. I was wearing this sexy lingerie. My brother, those 2 skeletons, then they came on top of the bed. When they came on top of the bed, then they started to sleep with me. They just abused me, and it was really painful. They abused me for almost another hour whilst they were abusing me, and I could hear everything that was going on. My husband, he was still in the bathroom. After these 2 skeletons had ejaculated in me, that was when they disappeared, and my husband, he walked into the bedroom. Then I started crying. He asked me why I was crying. I then told him that all this time I was being abused by these 2 spirits that had appeared in the bedroom when he was busy in the toilet. He said that this is just bullshit. There is no such thing like a ghost. And I showed him the bruises that were on my private parts, even with the sperms that were coming out. He did something that I did not even expect. He just digged into my private parts with his tongue. Then he started to lick me as if he was sucking the sperm that those 2 skeletons had left in my private parts. This is what he did. After that, he then continued making love to me. So, Brother Nashi, after this whole thing had happened, my husband then flew out of the country. Then when I was driving back from town, whilst I was waiting for our new gardener to open up the gate for me, it was when the gardener who works next door, he greeted me because he was watering the flower beds. He then told me this story. He said that at this property where me and my husband, we are now staying, he told me that my husband had 2 brothers of his 2 twin brothers. So they both passed away under very mysterious circumstances, and they died in this house after it had been bought. And after that house had been bought, that was when my father-in-law was said to have made a lot of money. Right now, I don't even know what am I supposed to do. As for my mother, I told my mother that this is what happened to me. But my mother, she said that it is just nonsense, everything that I am telling her. She said, you need to pray. Those are the demons of poverty that are following you. They want you to dump your husband so that you can continue in poverty. My mother right now, she is driving a GD6. So she said that if you divorce your husband, are you ever going to get a husband who will be able to buy such a car for me? Then she just dropped the call. So this is the situation that I am facing. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our sister right there. Please let us speak with her in the comment section. Yo.